Good morning, guys. So it is March 1st this coming weekend, and I had a little bit of a breakdown the other day. I have never had my greenhouse this empty, this few seeds started, and this few seedlings this late into the season. Usually by February, my greenhouse is pretty much full. The only things that I don't have planted are like pumpkins, squash, and even then, that's when I'm starting those things, is in early March. It just hit me last night. So I was looking on Instagram at previous years. Again, that was how I used to kind of keep track of my garden. Now I'm doing long form content. I find that I have a better time keeping track. I can see in better detail what I'm doing, when I'm starting what, things like that. And the photos of previous years showing what the greenhouse looked like, what was already started, and stuff like that, it got me stressed. I'm not going to lie. I'm slightly stressed, especially after the whole onion fiasco. We are still waiting for our second round of onions to pop up. Our beets are looking great. I did move our snapdragons and carnations out here. I'm just going to show you what I've got over here. 65 right now. I did open the door. Our low was 35 yesterday and 93 was our high. I'm trying to get better about getting out here earlier and opening the door just so it doesn't get too hot in here. Sometimes it gets to like 105, 103 degrees. So I like to get out here before it hits the hundreds just to keep all the plants comfortable. I did bring out a giant bucket of my seed starting mix and my trays. Am I going to have to bring all these trays back inside and put them under grow lights? Most of them. Some of them I might leave out here, but these are the seeds that I went through last night that I have to start. I've got everything from flowers to tomatoes to lettuces and herbs. And like I said, I'm stressed. I need to start more seeds. And I don't know if I'm stressed because I am behind or if I just feel behind. I feel like I just feel behind, but I'm nervous because usually I get my tomatoes started in February. And like I said, this weekend is March. I even brought out my jar of saved seeds for my petunias. My petunias inside are doing really well, but I would like to have more. I just like the color. I like to have flowers around the garden, things like that. So I've got my tags, my marker. I got all my seed starting stuff, my tray. I did have to pot up a few things the other day, so I've got some pots up here I'm going to empty out just to give you guys an idea. I am in zone 7. Sometimes it acts like zone 7 and other times it acts like zone 6. We are at a high altitude. We're in the mountains in North Carolina. We're in the northwest area of North Carolina, up by the Appalachian Mountains, by Blue Ridge Parkway, and we've been getting snow. It's been insanely cold, way colder than it's been in the years that I've lived here. All right, let's get you turned around and show you what things look like over on the bench, the seedlings that are growing, and then get you over here and show you what I'm starting, because we are starting everything. I have to get seeds in soil now. Carnations that I had to pot up the other day. Oh, I also had to pot up all this bok choy. Mind you, I still have a whole 6-pack of bok choy. I don't know why I thought I needed so much. We'll get to that later. Celery popping up. Celery does take a little while to germinate, but I do have quite a few sprouts in here. I've got my Swiss chard, my ruby red Swiss chard. I'm going to be starting more of that. You can see I got some coming up back there as well. These are the sad onions. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned my kale, but kale. These are the sad onions. Again, I do think some of them will be fine. They will. Like, that is going to be able to be planted out. it's just going to be a pain in the butt sorting through these to figure out what is going to be good enough to plant out and what isn't. Down here are all the onion seeds that we started in my second onion video. I don't think anything has popped up. It's only been a couple days since that video, but I'm going to get everything watered in here. Beets look really good back there. Those beets look good. I got carnations popping up here as well. And then I don't think I've seen any of the snapdragons coming up yet. Nope, because these are the cherry twist snaps that I started on this end with the vermiculite. None of those have come up yet, but I suspect that those will be up any day now. Over on this end, I've got more carnations. These are the raspberry carnations. The ones that I had to pot up were the light pink carnations that I saved seeds from because the roots were just crazy. I mean, the roots on these ones are not bad. They are starting to come out the bottom, but the roots on the other ones were insane. If I have a video of it still, I'll post it, but I posted it on Instagram. I've got my Snow White snapdragons, my cherry twist snapdragons, and you can see the difference in the color. So these are from the seeds that I had saved, the white snapdragons, and they're very green, like a very vibrant, bright green. These cherry twist ones have like a red, dark leaf. They look really great, but I'm excited to see the actual flowers. So even these snapdragons, I think some of these are going to have to be topped shortly. The white ones, especially. The cherry twist ones are a little bit smaller. Those are going to wait a little bit, but these ones are going to need to be topped here soon. So my plant out date for my cabbage and my cauliflower and things like that, my estimated plant out date is always right around St. Patrick's Day. So again, this weekend is March 1st, so that's coming right up. St. Patrick's Day this year falls on a Monday, so I will probably plant it out the weekend after. All right, my son just woke up, so he's out here playing with me. He's got a couple toys. He's sitting on his bench smiling. We are going to get to organizing this area, organizing our seeds that we're going to start, and then getting them in dirt. I have to get stuff started. I know I keep saying that. I feel so behind. Like, I'm so nervous that my tomatoes are not going to be ready in time. I did start a bunch of my paste tomatoes inside. If you didn't see that video, I did post a video about that. Did I post a video about that? I did post a video about that because I also started some herbs, things like dill, basil. I remember that. That was also a start seeds with me video. I will link that up top. You guys can go watch that if you're interested. I did not start my slicing tomatoes, and my slicing tomatoes usually take longer than my paste tomatoes, but I need more of my paste tomatoes ready sooner than I need my slicing tomatoes. So I got those started in the packs that I had inside. I can't stop talking. I'm so stressed. Okay, I need to pick up and get stuff organized. So I started by organizing my trays and getting all of my smaller cell things out. So I have my 4-packs here in these 2 trays. I have half of this tray of 4-packs, and then I have these pots that I'm going to use. This last tray is very miscellaneous. I had 1 6-pack left. I had a couple of these smaller pots. I have these just to fill in the space, and then I had this tray that is, I mean, literally falling apart. But if I can get soil to stay in it and I can get seeds in it, they're going in it. Because again, I have got so much stuff I have to start right now. Now I'm going to get to organizing my seeds. I like to use this tray just to make sure I don't make a mess of the soil. I don't mind getting the soil on the floor in the greenhouse, but the floor in my greenhouse is actually sand. My kids like to play in the sand. I like to walk barefoot in here. So using this just helps me keep it clean. Again, it's time to organize the seeds. Let me move the camera. All right, I had to take my sweater off and move my mic, so hopefully the sound isn't too much different. Oh, I did not mean to bring those out. I direct sow my carrots, and I will show you guys that when I do it. So I'm going to put those back in the bag. Okay, so I've got them into piles, flowers, greens, herbs, miscellaneous. This is also miscellaneous, I guess. I guess this could probably go with the herbs. My tomatoes. I guess now we get to planting. So real quick, I think I'm just going to start by filling all my 6-packs, 4-packs, pots and everything with soil. So I've got 2 trays of my 4-packs filled. And then I've got this half tray that has half 4-packs, half the... My other mic died while I was recording that last clip. I just planted my Siberian dwarf kale. I'm doing this whole tray in my greens. I have a lot of greens here. We go through a lot of lettuce. I know a lot of people like to stagger when they plant their greens just so they're not all ready at the same time. I plant all mine at the same time. We go through a lot of greens. Very heavy-handed on these, so when I do plant them out and I separate them, if some don't make it because of the separating and the transplanting and all of that, I have plenty extras, and we will have enough that survive, that we will get plenty of greens. Again, we love salads, we love kale. We eat a salad at least every day during the summer. So I'll probably start another round of lettuce and spinach and things like that when I plant these out. I'll direct sow those, but I'll show you guys that when I do it. On to the next tray of 4-packs. I want to say this one is going to be my flowers. And because my greens are hardy, I am going to leave them out in the greenhouse. I'm not going to bring those in. So I'll probably put them right over there and move stuff around a little so that way I can fit another tray over here. Because like I said, I don't want to have to carry all these in. But I do like starting seeds out in the greenhouse. It saves on mess in the house. The only thing that isn't fun is having to carry it all inside. I just got done the second tray of 4-packs. I did 2 of poppies. I just put the poppy seeds right on top and pushed them into the soil. Poppies don't like to be covered, and they also struggle with being transplanted, so I planted a couple in each one, and I'm just going to pop them right out of these and right into the dirt whenever they're ready. I did 2 of Calendula, and then for some strange reason I did the rest in sweet Alyssum. I love Alyssum. I plant it everywhere, all the time, every year. I've planted it for 6 years now. Absolutely love it, but now I am out of space to plant any more flowers in this tray. I know they're going to get used. Honestly, I'll probably start more of the Calendula and more Alyssum, but I've still got to get my zinnias. I've got to get more pansies. I'm really planning to get these dahlias in. I will probably do 2 seeds per each of these pots because I'm hoping I can save tubers from these this year and plant them again and again if I really like the colors that come up. So I'm going to get this tray moved over and I'm going to start in that next one. So after I get these last couple dahlia seeds planted, I am going to run in and feed the kids some lunch, and then we're going to come right back out. All right, so I have this many seeds left out of this packet that I purchased. I did all of these smaller pots, and I actually did 2 per cell in these 4-packs in the back just because I wanted to keep all my flowers in one tray. I am going to plant the rest of these in these 3 smaller pots just to use up the rest of the seeds, and then I'm going to get them over on the back shelf. I was able to cram them all in. I'm just going to stick 1 tag in that says Dahlia, move it back over, and then go feed the kids lunch. All right, so I made the kids lunch and we are back out in the greenhouse. This is my last tray of kind of miscellaneous pots that I have that are smaller that will fit in a tray. And I don't really have a plan. The plans have gone out the window. Like I said at the beginning, I'm very organized. I have everything put together. And then by this point in the season, currently I feel behind. The past couple years, by now, like I said, at the beginning, the greenhouse is usually full of starts of healthy growing seedlings. And right now, I just feel very behind. I feel a lot better now that I've gotten those trays done, but we still have all of my slicing tomatoes to plant and flowers. There's just a lot to do. I think for starters, we are going to do these with the marigolds, and I'll work my way from there. So like I've mentioned previously, I am going to be direct sowing a lot of flowers. So I will direct sow a lot of my zinnias, a lot more marigolds. I do, however, like to have a couple just in trays already pre-started. That way I can spread them out a little better and I can pick and choose where they go. So I can have them in beds, I can have them just in the ground, I can put them in specific planters up on my front porch, things like that. For this last 6-pack that I have in this miscellaneous tray, I am going to do the blue veined petunias. Again, I have a bunch inside that are doing really well, but petunias are one of my favorite flowers to grow. They hang over the edge of the beds really well. They really help with ground cover, things like that. So I'm going to do a bunch of these in here. I'm going to just sow probably 5 or 6 seeds. I'm just going to stick my finger in and sprinkle them on top and push them into the dirt and leave them like that. I will link the video where I planted these, my carnations, and my snapdragons, I think it was, in another video up top, so you can go watch that if you're interested. Again, most of this stuff, I'm going to stick it in the dirt and hope that it grows. If it doesn't grow, it doesn't grow. I don't soak my seeds. Some people sand them or clip them, things like loofahs and stuff like that. I don't do that. If it doesn't grow here, it doesn't grow. I don't have time to be doing extra stuff. Just so I feel a little more organized, I am going to put the seeds that I've already started and will not be planting any more of anytime soon, like my greens, until, like I said, when I plant out the seedlings. I'm going to put all those in here. Same with the empty poppy container, the empty dahlia container. I do still like to save some of my empty seed packets just to look back on to remember. I am going to take this one out though. I have that one out, my shade flowers, my alyssum, my zinnias, my pansies, my marigolds. But this is just going to help me stay organized so that way I know that I've already planted all these. I'm not as behind as I was when I started. And I think it's time to get started on tomatoes. So I did take out the 6-pack and then the big tray, this one, so that way I have more room in this tray, because I think I'm just going to do these pots and plant my tomatoes like that. I'll probably do 2 seeds per pot. All right, so I just ran out of my seed starting mix. However, I was able to fill 5 of these Bonnie's cups that I have from a couple years ago. And up first, I'm going to plant these orange accordion tomatoes. Tomatoes are some of my favorite things to grow. It's between tomatoes, flowers, and peppers, because the tomatoes are always so cool. This is a new variety. I've never grown this before. So I'm excited to see how it looks, and I will show you guys later in the season as it grows and how I care for it and fertilize it as it continues to grow inside the greenhouse before it goes outside. My daughter went and got me some more seed starting mix, so I filled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these smaller pots. And up next, I'm going to do this variety. I've also never grown this one. Again, same thing, 2 seeds per pot. After I do this one, I'm going to do these. So I'll 4 pots of these and 3 pots of these, just because I want to try and can sliced green tomatoes to make fried green tomatoes in the summer. I had purchased a green tomato variety last year from Michigan Gardener, and unfortunately, after I planted several of them, they were not the variety that I had purchased. So I'm hoping that these ones turn out better. So I just got this tray done of the tomatoes. I was able to do 3 different varieties of my slicing tomatoes. I still have so much more to plant. However, I'm running out of pots, I'm running out of trays, I am running out of things to start seeds in. I do still have my solo cups down below. I was trying not to use those as much this year, but just to pot up into if I absolutely had to. I have an order of the pink 6-packs from Epic Gardening on their way currently. I just got the shipping email this morning, so hopefully those will be here by the end of the week. So I've got a lot of stuff to still plant. I will take you along as I plant those things, and I will keep you guys updated as the stuff that I've already planted grows. The tomatoes are going to go inside. I'm going to put those under the grow light in the grow tent. Everything else is going to stay out here. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next video. My son would also like to be